Goodness, my goodness, can you believe this, everybody? We are live, and time is running out. This is the most urgent, sensational crypto broadcast you will ever witness in your life. Major shout out to everybody in the chat. God bless everybody. In Jesus' name, I do pray you and your families are blessed in many ways. As the Bitcoin price right now is teetering and tottering on the ledge of utter chaos and confusion, but don't worry, we're here to break it down for you today. If you're feeling fear, don't worry, Jason Casper is here. Let me whisper something in your ear, my dear. Let me whisper something in your ear, my dear. Have no fear, Jason Casper is here. We're going to be talking about whether or not this potential Bart Simpson rollover is going to bring us all the way down to the price of or are we actually going to bounce from support? Now you can see here we're getting a little bit of a bounce, maybe trying as we're coming down to the Fibonacci Golden Pocket retest. We're going to be discussing, breaking down, dissecting, talking about the next move and how you can profit and make tons of billions of dollars from this Bitcoin volatility as we are right now coming down to backtest the value area high of the macro range going all the way back to December 2020. My goodness, how time flies. Major shout out to everybody in the chat. We have to give a big old shout out to Brawl Boss. He says, question mark. Shout out to Leo Mopac Crypto. He says, hey, you made it. Major shout out to Big Huggies. Let's get back above 67 and then 68. Let's go, please. Shout out to Nick Hee-Hoo 8116. I can't watch all that market cipher and your tips and tricks for trading. I need a tip for taking profit on 1 day, 1 week trade. Very simple to take profit. You simply click close. Major shout out to Lee Smithy in the chat. Hello from the UK. Major shout to BBL Hotline and Flippa Frank. Major shout to Soapsist01. Will we go back to 4 figures today? 4 figures for Bitcoin? Oh my goodness, can you imagine such a thing? Shout out to Alex Saja 2464. Come on guys, 11 likes only. Today's the day. We should get at least 800. Shout out to the real King Solomon and Around Town 27. Shout out to Usemi and Tony Punch Aether Media 22. What do you say, Jay? Hope you and the family are doing well. God bless you, my bro. Shout out to Sahil Patel, who says hi. Well, hello to you. Hello to you. Crypto is dead man walking. Don't worry. Don't worry. Everything's going to be okay, guys. Everything is going to be okay. Look, I'm going to say it once. I'm going to say it twice. I'm going to say it 3 times. This is going to be the 3rd time I say it. Listen, guys. Listen. This is not financial advice. Please provide a free signal. Here's your free signal. If you are buying Bitcoin in 2026, you are setting yourself up for profits in 2027, 8, and 9. Okay? Not financial advice, but we are officially in a downtrend on Bitcoin, which means every dump is closer and closer to the bottom, which means if you have, let's say, just as an example, $1,000 to invest in Bitcoin, now is the time to start buying a little bit of Bitcoin, okay? I'm assuming that the bottom is going to be somewhere around here in the summer or fall of this year. That's between the price of 30 and 40,000. If you are buying Bitcoin between 70K, which is up here, and 30K, which is down here, you can have an average buy-in price of around $40,000, which means in 2028 and 2029, when we are pushing $200,000, you are going to be up on your investment about 300% at $170,000. This is a very conservative, relaxed way of doing it, guys. Assuming we're not even gonna hit 200K, assuming we're going to hit 170K only, and assuming you have all this time and space to accumulate a position, you can 3x your money, alright? You can 3x your money. 100K into 300K, 10K into 30K, 1K into 3K, 100 into 300. You might say, Jason, that's not enough gains for me, bro. Look, I got into crypto not so that I could make slow and steady gains. No, I got into crypto so that I could make fast, unpredictable, wild gains. I want to have that conversation on Thanksgiving with all my family and tell them how I took 1,000 and turned it into $5 billion in crypto, in meme coins, Jason, AI coins. Well, you can try and do that, honestly. And look, Trader Geo says 30K will never happen. Alright, you can try and do that. That's fine. Alright, or you know what else you can do is you can learn how to leverage trade, and leverage trade can make you a lot of money in between these slow and steady gains. And if you don't know how to leverage trade, if you don't know how to trade, guess what? It's your lucky day, because your boy Jason Casper has a free trading course on YouTube. It's only free $99. As you can see here, 18 sessions of a free trading course, and the title says it all. Become a successful trader. Free course, life-changing. All right, look at how life-changing this course is. All right, I just want to zoom in on how life-changing this could be, guys. Look at this. Is there anything more life-changing than that? This will change your life, baby. But yeah, look, Bitcoin. These are the times to buy. You want a free signal? This ain't no financial advice, but your boy Jason Casper is putting money into Bitcoin right now, under 70K. And when we drop down below 50K, guess what your boy J Casper is gonna do? He's gonna get a little bit more. When we're down in the zone where historically we bottom out, guess what your boy J Casper is gonna be doing? I'll tell you what he's not gonna be doing. He's not gonna be selling Bitcoin. All right, J Casper was selling Bitcoin here. All right. JCasp was selling Bitcoin here. JCasp was selling Bitcoin here. All right. And JCasp was not buying Bitcoin here. He was not buying Bitcoin here. He was not buying Bitcoin here. He was not buying Bitcoin here. But now he's buying. All right. Now he's buying. And the reason why I'm buying is because every time it's the same. All right. Every time it's the same. They say it'll be different, but every time it's the same. And so far, it's been the same, okay? So look, I'm excited for people getting into crypto for the first time right now. Because if you're new, and a lot of us are not, but even if you're old, these are the exciting times, guys. These are the exciting times, all right? And look, if you've been in the game for a long time and you've been accumulating money by trading and investing in crypto, you should be very excited about these times. Because this is where the money's made, baby. Alright? This is where the real money is made. We gotta give a major shout out to my man Trader Geo. Guys, go subscribe to Trader Geo, one of the realest in the game, baby. Alright, one of the realest in the game, baby. How many steps do? I do one step every step. Alright, one step a step. Shout out to JoJo Productions. 66666 Bitcoin is a funny number. You know, Bitcoin loves 666. All right, Bitcoin does love 666. It really does. Okay, let's talk about what's happening here with the Bitcoin price. All right. First of all, I do have to say we are at a very key support right now. We are coming down to none other than the non-log Fibonacci Golden Pocket POC value area previous range. All right. This is a major support zone. And when we're asking, is the bottom in for Bitcoin? Obviously, no one knows the answer for certain. But right here, the answer is a weak maybe. 25% certain right now that the bottom is in for me. Yet, because I'm 25% certain, this is a good place to buy, just in case the bottom is in. If we lose this box, guys, we are going to come down to the next zone, which is going to be between the 786 and 886 fib, between 30 and 40K. All right, it's quite simple. It's quite simple. It's so simple, like this. All right, for example, we had the bull market trend line. All right, like this. All right, in November, guess what? We lose the trend line. All right. So in November, guess what? Jason Casper said we're gonna go down under 70. Why? Well, because we lost the trend line, and so therefore we're probably gonna make a lower low. The last low was at 74, and so 70,000 is the next big target, right? And of course, like I said, I'm not buying until less than 70. I have started to buy Bitcoin now. I've started to buy Bitcoin. I didn't buy since 2023. I was like, Jay, should I buy now? Should I buy now? Nope, 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 nope. You can trade, you can leverage trade, you can make your gains. All right? We made tons of money in the Casper crew, not by buying the dips, but by longing the dips, right? Not buying our spot, longing the dips. Of course, selling $120,000, locking in juicy gains. Now I'm starting to take some of that money and put it back into Bitcoin after a drop of $50,000. Man, that is the juice, baby. That is the juice. So, just like when we lose the trend line, likely that we come down to the low. If we lose this, most likely we will come down to this zone here. That's going to be between 30 and 40K. Now, is that going to happen? Let's take a look at our top-down analysis. How is the monthly time frame looking? All right. Let's take a look at the monthly. All right. Monthly market Cipher B. Are we printing a bottom yet? Well, here's the thing. We're just starting to get momentum cross the zero line. All right. This is akin to back here last cycle. This is akin to back here last cycle. This is akin to back here last cycle. What does this tell us? It tells us now is the time to start buying Bitcoin. Why? Because we are crossing momentum on the monthly into that oversold territory. But it means the bottom is probably not in yet, because when we do that, guess what? Back here we had another 44% move to the downside. Back here we crossed momentum. Guess what? When that happens, candle close, another 30% move to the downside. All right. Back here, candle close, another 25% move to the downside. All right. Now this candle is not closed yet. We still have 17 days. The candle might close lower, it might close higher, assuming it closes here. Right? That's another 40% down to our target. If it closes lower than this, let's assume the monthly candle closes below our level and we get a candle that's like we're closing around 55, then that's a 30% move down to our target. All right. So we're right in the ballpark, guys. We're right in the ballpark of the low starting to be in. And when we go back in hindsight and we look at these lows on Bitcoin, guess what? They don't just come down to the bottom and bounce back up V-shaped. No. We form a bottom range for some time. We form a bottom range for some time. It's a monthly time frame, guys. We're talking months. We form a bottom range for some time, right? And so it wouldn't surprise me if we end up with another little drop-a-roni, form a bottom range for some time, and then boom, right? Because every time it's the same. Could this time be different? Yeah. Well, but until it is different, we shouldn't assume it will be different, honestly. Let's be honest. All right. Now, I know all the cases. BlackRock will save us. QE will save us. Mr. Warsh, the new Federal Reserve Chairman, will save us because Jerome Powell didn't print fast enough, but this guy's going to print way faster. Okay, maybe. But even if that happens, even if those bullish things happen, guess what? Those bullish things can happen, and we still can get a little bit more downside, form a nice bottom range on the high time frame before the big pump, right? I think that the chart allows for that kind of thing to happen. All right, also, now let's go to our weekly time frame. Remember, the bottom usually isn't in until the monthly is forming a actual bottom, right? So far, not quite. 2-week time frame. 2-week time frame here, we are actually in the territory where the bottom could be in, right? The bottom could be in right now. Once we start to see the momentum waves getting smaller, that's more likely that the bottom is in, but as of yet, still like we have more downside. Weekly time frame, we are getting the money flow as confirmed into the purple. Once again, the money flow being in the purple on the weekly time frame has happened back here. It's happened back here. It's happened back here. Every single time. It means the bottom is near. But we still have a few more months, probably another drop to the downside and some consolidation before the big pump. Baby. Okay? So far, all signs are pointing to this is a good time to start getting in. And as we dip lower and form that range, accumulation, baby. And then as we head into 2027, 2028, 2029, guess what? That's when it's time to sell. Because we bought low and then we sell high, right? We DCA in and then we scale out. DCA in, scale out. Don't have to time the bottom, don't have to time the top, right? Don't have to time the bottom, don't have to time the top. Do that for 3 cycles, baby. And you can retire in tropical paradise. All right. Did you miss the egg code? No. The egg code is Wednesday. All right. Go into the Discord if you want eggs. The code is Wednesday. All right. The code is Wednesday. What if a lower low instead of a lower high? What if made a lower low instead of a lower high? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You don't think it's too early? It's too, I'd say it's too early to say the bottom is in, all right? But look, when we zoom out here, again, I'm talking about relaxed trading of scaling in a position in these areas, in this area, right? In this area here. In this area here, all right? So again, this area here, around this area, is right where you want to be getting in. Again, assuming that the bull runs will happen again, assuming that we end up at, you know, I'm not even going to say 200,000, right? I'm going to say 170,000, right? We're talking potentially 300% gains at 170,000 if we start to scale into a position here. All right. Now, obviously, the lower we get, the more aggressively I'll be buying, and that's what I recommend as well. I expect new lows to come. I'm 75% certain new lows will come. 75% certain new lows will come. 25% convinced the low is in here. Okay? But let's just do a little time analysis. Previous all-time high, December 13th, to the low, about 600 days. The all-time high to the low, about 400 days. The all-time high to the low, about 400 days. The all-time high, October 6th to our low. Let's assume about 400 days. Guess what? Fall of 2026, right? So this is the time. This is the price that I would actually expect the low to be in, right? The time and the price right around here. Just dipping around that below 40K down toward 30. Right? So basically, the closer we get to this box, the more aggressive I am buying, and I could be wrong, and this could be the moment that wrecks me. You know, story time with Jay Cast. You know, my great-grandfather. He became a multi-millionaire. No joke. In the 50s, at the horse races. He also became completely broke and lost everything at the horse races. All right? Now, he had some good probabilities, myself. When I say myself, I mean his self. He had some good probabilities, all right? And here's why I say that. He actually got hit by a car 3 times in his life. All right, he got hit by a car 3 times in his life. The music is loud? Are you kidding me? The music is loud? Huh. That's strange. Did my microphone change? How about that? He got hit by a car 3 times. The 3rd time did him in. All right. He got hit by a car 3 times. Survived twice at 96 years old. The 3rd one. All right. The 1, the 2, that 3rd one. It killed him at 96. Dude became a millionaire, lost it all on the horses, survived 2 car hits. All right. So again, I don't know. I made a lot of money on Bitcoin. Maybe this time I'm going to lose it all. But, you know, is the music really loud? Is the music really loud? Shout out to Valerie. God bless you, Valerie. Shout out to Finland 101. If you're watching the stream, don't forget to like, sub, and join the Discord. What if we made a lower low in 4-year cycle instead of a higher high? Is it possible, Jay? Sure. It's possible, man. You know what? Maybe all this nonsense is just nonsense, and maybe we dip down below $15,000. Maybe. Just maybe. Okay? We have a giant sideways range. This is our high. This is our low. Right down here. Alright? We come down. We take this. We come all the way down. And we take the low. And then we get a bounce. Yeah, maybe. Okay? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe that's true. Maybe that does happen. Okay? You know? That would suck. That would suck. Here's why. Because if my average entry on Bitcoin ends up being around 40K, I'm hoping to bring it a little bit lower than that. Alright? Let's see. We'll have to see how it goes and what we're gifted with. But let's say my average entry is 40K. That means I'm going to have to hold that position down 69% before taking profit at a 200% gain. But at the very least, we're talking spot here. So I'm still, if Bitcoin never makes a higher high again, and we continue in this range forever, this strategy that I'm presenting here is still very probable to be profitable. All right, very likely to be profitable. You know, it's slow and steady. Okay, again, like I'm a big proponent of the slow and steady spot gains hybrid with the fast, quick leverage gains. That's my bread and butter, baby. The bread and the butter. The bread and the butter. The butter. The bread and the butter. Okay, you like the music. Music's not loud, not loud. All right. Guys, smooth jazz. That's where it's at. We will go down to a lower time frame right now. And we will take a look at what's happening locally with the Bitcoin. All right. Now, again, remember the context. We are bouncing from this major box of support, 65.5 thousand USD. And if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, well, here's what's happening. We are potentially continuing at the downtrend here, unable to make a higher high. And we're potentially also getting the rollover pattern, which leads to the Bar Simpson. Boom. However, we are bouncing from key support. Therefore, if we can hold the Fibonacci golden pocket right here, confluence with the back test of the value area high of the macro 4-year range, we very well may see something like this. Vroom, vroom. All right, we very well may see something like that. So the next area that I'm personally looking for a bounce is going to be coming down to around this area. And then I would be looking to take it up to, at first, the 74.3 support resistance flip. If we can reclaim 74.3, then I don't see why we cannot come back up to the $84,000 level here, which is going to be our next support resistance flip of the previous range, right? We could see something like this, even in a bearish scenario. Our high, our low, our lower high, our lower low, our lower high, and eventually make a lower low. This is the first place to look. The second place to look and be aware of is the fact that on the daily time frame, when we put on Market Cipher B, what are we seeing here? We are seeing a complete left glute formed on the chart, right? We have a deep momentum wave, potentially forming a higher wave like this, giving us the coveted uneven butt cheek pattern right here, which means we could come down and double dip into this box of support. Remember, this is a key box of support. We go back to the high time frame, we take a look. This is a very key box of support. We double dip into that high volume node, right? Well, we could see a rally from there as well, okay? So yeah, we're on the 1-hour time frame. Let's take a look at MCB, baby. Here's what I don't like about Market Cipher B. I don't like the 1-hour money flow. However, it is potential bull div territory here. I would like to see a little bit lower. 24-minute starting to look really good. I would like to see a little bit lower. Honestly, I would like to come down a little bit lower. I think if we get one more little and get a bounce from the support resistance flip that we have around 65-ish, 64.5, that would be the place I would be most interested in looking for that bounce, okay? Let's check out the order flow here. Very important stuff for Bitcoin right now. My goodness, oh my goodness, wow. Let's refresh this. Breaking news, guys, breaking news. Oh my goodness, this is breaking news. Breaking news. I don't know if you can see this on the chart, but we do have some breaking live news here. It is breaking, and it's news. There are millions and trillions, billions and quadrillions of shorts opening at support, okay? Let's check it out. Wow. So you can see here, guys, that, wow, yeah, we do have quite a few shorts opening up here. 22 million in this one candle, another 40 million, so 80, 100 million shorts opened up right here. That's pretty crazy. Now, the large majority of them have closed out, but then another 55 million open here. So we probably have about 50, 60 million shorts opening up here as we were consolidating in this, what appears to be a bit of a triangle here, guys, to be honest with you, right? Let's take a look at this. We've got ourselves the old triangle, right? The old wedge of Swiss cheese here, guys. The old wedge of cheese. Hopefully it's not blue cheese, you know. Speaking of blue cheese, guys, story time with Jay Casper. You know, back in the day, I used to work at a restaurant called Salad Works, all right? Salad Works. You would have these salads, all right? And you would make them for people who were trying to eat healthy, okay? They were trying to eat healthy by eating salad, right? So, anyway, it was my job to go into the fridge and have these giant blocks of blue cheese, and I'd have to crumple them up with these rubber gloves on. And the smell of the blue cheese would go up my nostrils, deep inside, to the point where your nose holes meet the brain. And the smell and the mold of the blue cheese would drive me wild. I'd come out into the front of the Salad Works store high on blue cheese mold and start babbling nonsense to people. Hello, sir, would you like to buy a salad today? Coughing, coughing all over the salad. I got fired from that job real quick. Now that reminds me, as we are forming this wedge of Swiss cheese on the 15-minute time frame. Let's check it out here. Roop, roop. We do have shorts opening up here. We can also see, you know, the open interest is real choppy here. But I would like to just point this out. So far, this whole entire thing here is characterized by traders closing positions, and then just recently are we seeing an uptick in positions opening right here. And the majority of those are shorts. Now let's not forget what happened on this last leg down, right? That whole big drop from 74,000 all the way to the bottom here was actually characterized by real shorts opening up positions, all right? After a slow drop of a decline of open interest, traders closing positions, closing, all of a sudden capitulation, everybody's shorting. Those shorts have since closed, and now we're waiting for what is going to happen here. So be watching the order flow, because again, as we come down to the Fibonacci golden pocket and on Market Monkey, we can draw our fib from the low to the high. And we can see, where is that 618? Where is that 786? That major zone that we were looking for? Right here. If we start to see lots of shorts opening up here, for example, and we're seeing that there are more shorts opened up here than there were down here, and yet the price is holding support, that it would be our first sign of some bullish absorption, that we're looking to make a nice higher low. Then we could go and make a higher high and take all the liquidity that we have from here to the upside. Again, we do have a nice looking zone to squeeze, okay? But I would like to see a little bit lower, and I would like to see some kind of bullishness at the key support. Maybe some bullish market cipher B, butt cheeks. Confluence with some bullish CVD order flow on Market Monkey. You know, and honestly, yeah, I would add to this juicy long trade from the level given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. When we got the bounce, we were looking at how that value area low was respected, baby, from the exact level given in advance. Right there, isn't that pretty crazy? Not as crazy as this, though, all right? This is a crazy picture. Not as crazy as this, though. This is a really crazy picture. This is a crazy picture right here, all right? That's a pretty crazy picture. A beer belly, all right? But that's not even as crazy as this picture right here, all right? There's a picture of me trading and driving, running away from the cops. You can see in the rear view mirror up here, the cops, they were chasing me down, all right? They tried to pull me over because I was going 55 in a 25 residential zone. I almost got charged with manslaughter. He said, "Jason, can you walk the white line?" I said, "Officer, I'm drunk on the candles. I can't even see the white line. All I see is blue and purple lines." I'm not going to tell you how I got out of that one, all right? But we are coming on down to that level. We got some shorts opening up. Bitcoin giving all base and no treble. We got ourselves a descending channel. We got these highs right here, very respected this morning. We got ourselves this here, okay? It would be really nice to see a breakdown of this and a bounce from here and then a reclaim. That would actually be really nice. You can see this is setting us up nicely. All these lower highs, lower high, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, right into our support resistance flip at 74.3. That would be setting us up nicely for a potential squeeze up to this area. And again, we flipped 74.3. We have to recognize on the higher term time frames. Let's close everything off now. Let's just say we reclaim 74.3. What would that look like? That would look like a giant fake out. All right, that would look like a giant fake out. We start to reclaim this green line on the chart. Now this looks like a giant fake out. Make a higher low. We're coming up here, flipping this. We could see some continuation, potentially all the way up to our Fibonacci golden pocket retrace, around 100K, around 100K. That would wreck so many people. Man, that would wreck a lot of people, right? So yeah, this is where we're at right now with the Bitcoin price, and I am waiting to see what's going to happen here. Am I going to add to my trade, or am I going to let this thing get closed out at, I am keeping my stop below the low on this one, guys. All right, my stop will be below the low on this one, and then we'll just hold the short trades from the setup given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Where is that setup given? Right here. Look at that setup given in advance in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at jasonscaspertrading.com. And guys, also I'm trading right now on KCEX, lowest fees, BLOFIN, super low fees, Antarctic decentralized exchange. All right, KCEX right now is 0.01% market order, 0% limit order. BLOFIN is giving you 0.02% market order. You can trade gold, silver, and more on BLOFIN. And of course, Antarctic, the decentralized exchange, is where I'm currently also trading here. Make sure to check it out, guys. And if you don't know how to trade, check out the free course, How to Trade Bitcoin and Anything Else. 18 parts on my YouTube channel in playlists. Right? 18 parts on YouTube in playlists. Forget about 100K for a few years, bro, LOL. Well, look, here's the thing, Monster Dumps, LOL. Here's the thing. And this is something that we all need to recognize, okay? When it comes to trading charts, it's all about probabilities, okay? When you write off anything, you're setting yourself up for missing opportunity, okay? If we reclaim 74.5, then it becomes most probable that we come up towards 84. Right? It just is what it is on the chart. It's still a bearish trend. If we reclaim 84,000 and we're back inside this range, it becomes most probable we make our way to the top of the range. That's going to be around 100K. It is what it is, man. Okay, it is what it is. You can't just say it will never happen. Look, I'm not saying it will happen tomorrow. But I am saying, look, if we get the reclaim and the support resistance flip, then we look to the next level, to the upside. That's how the trading works. When you, example, lose the trend line to the downside like this, then you look for the lower low, because that's most probable. Okay? You come back inside, you say, okay, we're back inside. Now we look for the up. So look, don't just write off things because they sound silly. I can't tell you how many people said, we're never going to see under this. Never. Trump won the election, Jason, and that means we're never going to see Bitcoin below 72 again because of Donald J. Trump. Look, Bitcoin's orange, Trump is orange. Trump, he has a meme coin. Does Kamala have a meme coin? No. Therefore, we're never going to see Bitcoin under 72 again. We've never had a president get elected where Bitcoin dipped below the price on that exact day. Now here we are. Okay? So never say never. Instead, prepare. Prepare. Right now, $100,000 is what? It's the Fibonacci golden pocket. The Fibonacci golden pocket? Are you serious? It's the point of control? Are you serious? You mean it's a key resistance? We should definitely keep it on our radar, you know? You gotta keep it on your radar, baby. It's all about keeping that radar flipped on. Strong and long. Is it most probable right now? Absolutely not. Right now, we are in a very strong downtrend. Can't even touch 74.5. So therefore, yeah, we expect more down. All right. It's all about the if-then scenario. If the price comes up to here and we have bear divs, then we can take a juicy short trade. All right. From that level. It's if-then scenarios. If-then scenarios. You want to learn how to do it? Check out the course. It's totally free. Free 99, baby. Would have been a nice theory with the stupid 4-year cycle instead of the herd mentality pushing it. I mean, the 4-year cycle so far, in my opinion, is still playing out kind of nice. Alright? Guys, don't forget to lick the stream. The Stewie of Trade says don't forget to lick the stream. Give it a nice lick. If you know what I'm saying. Okay? Can't fade golden pocket. Trumpstein. 100K will THW NPC bullish. Yeah. Shout out to my man Dave Digital. He says like number 213 is Dave Digital's. Ian got his apartment. No way, bro. That's cool, man. Shout out to Ian on YouTube. We got to give a major shout out to Ian on YouTube. Breaking news, we interrupt this regularly scheduled programming to say congratulations to Ian on YouTube for getting his apartment. Everybody go subscribe to Ian on YouTube right now. Ian on YouTube is the best guy in the world. Big shout to Ian on YouTube. Ian on YouTube, this one's for you, my friend. God bless you. Shout out to Crypto Coons. God bless you, bro. Jason, I heard Michael Saylor bought more Bitcoins. Yeah. I heard that too. Exactly. A trader should never be an absolutist. Seriously. Never should be. Banks needed to offer Bitcoin at the stores / ATMs without needing to trade it right there. Yeah, shout out to Ian, man. Glitches, etc., shutdowns. 4-year cycle may break. Monthly money flow is coming out. We have higher highs and bear divs. Yeah, maybe. I mean, so you're saying the 4-year cycle is going to break and we're going to just dip lower. Because everyone else is saying the 4-year cycle is going to break and we're not going to dip. Look, the most bearish I could possibly see this get, guys, would simply be this. All right, this is an extreme case. This is a very extreme case. Remember, I'm giving you this case because I'm not an absolutist. But you know, in reality, here's what I'm really looking at. We come back into this area, we come to this support resistance flip, and then we head back bullish. Okay, very similar to what happened over here. You know, that's why I'm saying between 30 and 40K, given the front run possibility. Right now, let's say we flip 30K into resistance, then we come down to the 13K and then bounce. And that would be an extreme case where basically Bitcoin is no longer pumping and dumping like it used to, but it's just trading in an extreme range now. This is very extreme. All right, this is extremely extreme. This would be unprecedented, something that I don't think we should be expecting. But, you know, look, we shouldn't be expecting that for sure. We should not be expecting it. However, the only reason I even entertain that idea is because of this, right? We have a parallel channel, ascending channel. We break the channel. We come test below the channel. We take the liquidity from the lows. Because this uptrend, we have to admit, is very different. We have not had a big blow off top, right? So could you see a scenario where we give back, you know, remember all this in November 2023, where we were basically saying, like, we are not leaving behind good lows here. This is very squeezable. you know, we come down, we're at 24K, and then we get some kind of capitulation event, you know, some kind of black swan, right? If this happens, very improbable, but, you know, technically, it is a nice level, right? We'd come down to flip the 2019 high into support, take all the liquidity from the last bull run. Man, maybe this was a fake bull run. Now we got a real bull run, altcoins pump and everything, right? I don't know. But that is one scenario that we should very well so be aware of, all right? I don't think it's going to happen, but I am aware of it. And that would be an event where the 4-year cycle is broken, where instead of finding the bottom after 70%, we just keep dumping, you know? How many weeks do I have? That's kind of faggish. I have quite a few. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 wigs to answer your question. Improbable, whatever. I didn't graduate high school, bro. Give me a break. Give me a break. Shout out to Make Me a Millie. He says only you can answer that question. Plan the trade, trade the plan. When buying in the dumper, you should always have an invalidation. Absolutely, absolutely. That's good advice there. Dave Digital says Epstein is not Satoshi. It's been debunked already. He was an early adopter and proponent. All flags matter. LOL. My goodness. Do I still scalp crypto? Yeah, of course I do. I just haven't been in much of a scalping mood recently, you know? I've been chilling out recently, guys. All right, it's a little bit of just a relaxed period of life for me, right? I had a very intense 2023 to 2026, very intense. All right, I had $700,000 stolen from me. I scalped my way back to some juicy gains, trading big positions. I have sniped bottoms, shorted tops. I have held on spot. I sold Bitcoin at 100K. I sold Bitcoin at 120K. I feel like I've had a big, it's like working out in the gym, you know? It's a workout, now it's a rest day, right? Now it's just a rest day. I'm here. I'm doing some mobility work. Some light cardio, getting the blood flow, the recovery, getting ready for the next big sprint of crypto trading. All right? That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, I still scalp, baby. Jesus is Lord. Hallelujah. Amen. Amen. Can you make a pool for are we on bear market or not? A poll. Yeah, I'll make a poll. I say we're in the bear. All right, we'll make a poll though. All right, let's make a poll. Bull or bear? Are we in the bear? I say yes. Bear market. I say yes. Of course we're in the bear market. Guys, we're in a downtrend. Yeah, we're in a downtrend. You know? My thoughts on MSTR and the possible next bull run peak for it. Well, first of all, Bitcoin and MicroStrategy are at extremely important levels right now, okay? This is major support. If lost, that opens up the door down to $60 per share, 53 golden pocket, all right? Let's assume that we do come down to the 53 golden pocket, all right? I mean, let's just assume that we'll hit the 1.618. That's going to put it close to $900 a share. That's pretty crazy, the 1.618. Hang on, let me take this off. Hang on, guys. I'm on log scale. No wonder things are so crazy. Let's put it on regular scale here. All right, let's put it on regular scale. Where is that? 618. Yeah. Oh, right here. Yeah, that is going to push around $900 a share. Yeah, if we're going to follow this trend, all right, the 1-to-1 would be like $600 a share. 1.272 would be $730, and then 1.618, $900. But you know what? I'm more interested in where is this thing going to bottom out, right? So right now, I'm looking at this, thinking to myself, you know, yeah, this is pretty crazy, but this thing goes all the way back to 2000. Oh man, this is crazy. This is crazy. That's so funny. If we do lose this green box, you know, let's go ahead and pull all this volume here. Man. Let me just say, I'm keeping my eyes on MicroStrategy, because if something horrible happens with MicroStrategy, that is going to be the ultimate buy signal for Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. That's going to be the ultimate signal, but mostly Bitcoin. I don't hold any stock in strategy. I know some people do. They're super bullish. That's great. Cool. I hope it works out. But yeah, it's crazy right now that their stock is down from Trump's election. 80% right now. That is crazy. Let's see. It could come down 90%. Can you imagine a 90% drop plus Bitcoin dropping like crazy? That would be the ultimate buy signal. If something happened where they had to sell Bitcoin or something. Yeah, I know. It's before they did Bitcoin. It's before, because MicroStrategy, like Michael Saylor, has been doing stuff since forever. All right, now I just want to look what happened last time. I'm just saying, okay. This time it's unsinkable ship. This time the Titanic. Last time, this time is different, baby. Peter Schiff is running his palms together, saying, "Excellent, excellent." You know. Shout out to my man, Wall Street Mafia. Became a millionaire in 2025, now chilling watching the bloodbath. Keep it up. Yeah, I like that vibe, honestly. Last May was the start of the bear market because of COVID? Is COVID still around? The best decision I made this cycle is sell 50% of my crypto at 109. That's cool, Monster Bumps. Do I think BlackRock, the big player, would let it go lower? See, that's the thing. I don't know. I'm not a fundamental trader either at all. So, like, I don't know. If I was BlackRock, all right, and I wanted to have more Bitcoin, I would have big incentive to push the price lower. If I was BlackRock and I had unlimited capital to buy Bitcoin for my ETFs, then yeah, I would want it happening at lower prices, honestly. You know? Should have listened to Peter Sniff. Look, Peter Schiff has one thing right, which is gold is a good asset to buy and hold. Gold is good. I don't understand why he's so against Bitcoin. I don't quite get that. Why not have both? Why not have both? You know? Can't go wrong with both, baby. You cannot go wrong with both. Silver and gold are good. Silver and gold. Can I switch the background music to something straight? The jazz feels kind of gay. Really? Where in the world, where do people get this idea that jazz is gay? You know? It's so funny. I feel so bad for jazz musicians. They're among the most talented, hardest working, longest practicing, actual talent having musicians in the world. You could be an amazing musician with so much talent, songwriting ability, and there's no money in it at all. Meanwhile, you have some drunk weirdo who doesn't know anything about music becoming like a millionaire by having literally no talent, going into a studio using AI to write some lame beat and some lame lyrics. It's like, what in the world? But on that note, guys, I love you all. I'm gonna head out. God bless you. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.